Hey, everybody. Welcome to Radio Labyrinth. This is Season 5, Episode 37. My name is Tim Andrews. That's Jeff Lieboff and Stephanie Swain. Hello.
Hello.
Hello. Thank you to our guests last week. We had Ming Chen on, and we also had Dan Carroll on for Dragon Con, and we talked about virtual Dragon Con, and we appreciate everybody listening and enjoying the show. It was a nice time to catch up with those dudes. I am recuperating from a medical procedure that I had this morning. I'm really tired because I didn't get much sleep last night. I had to get up at 3 a.m. and take part 2. You guys know what Sue Prep is?
Is this for a sex change?
Yes, it is. But it's not a change.
Like,
I've always been a woman. What?
Is it like Discovery for prep?
No. Sue Prep is no, none of that stuff. It's this saline, like real salty, dense, heavy liquid that you have to mix with water and then drink, so you shit your guts out and are clean enough for a doctor to go in and look at your colon and intestines and things like that.
Can't you just give yourself a douche?
Well, it is like that, but you have to. It's not an enema. You drink it and then it just wipes you clean. You know, you're clean as a whistle, as they say, and that's the worst part of it. This is my 3rd colonoscopy that I've had in the last 11 years. And I have to get one every 3 years now because I'm almost 50, and, you know, that's just the way it is. But this one was really rough because I hate that liquid. You guys don't know. If you've had it, and I see it from my Facebook what I posted today, a lot of people have had the procedure done. And if you've had it done, you know how horrible this is. And there are even people who say that I don't need anesthesia. You need anesthesia. Because one time I woke up after the procedure and I heard someone getting one who was not on anesthesia, and there's a lot of yelling and ouch.
Oh my.
Yeah. So I mean,
well, some people pay for that.
Well, I don't know if people pay to have a camera jammed up their colon.
I think they do. Well,
you know, hey, whatever floats your boat. We're not going to judge people. I mean, not to start off on a gross, even though I am starting off on a gross thing, but yeah, so they got in there and they got everything out, and then you wake up, you know, like they're talking to you, you know, you have the anesthesiologist and one of the nurses and even the doctor. I'm, you know, just shooting the shit with him because my gastro doctor is a deadhead, an old school deadhead, and so we were talking about you know, missing the show this summer, the Dead and Company show, and I passed out while he was talking to me about it. And the next thing you know, I wake up and I'm farting. And that's what happened. You wake up and it's just...
So is he listening to The Dead while he's monkeying around in your butt?
I don't know what they're listening to. I think they're not listening to music because he's no nonsense. But that's what he does all day. He's just looking down esophaguses and looking up buttholes. And I hope he makes an awful lot of money for doing that, because that would be rough if that's what you did all day. But, you know, the place is a cool place. The people there are all masked up, and, you know, they got a good routine down. So
I wish he had the choice to maybe like pick a Lemmy-Winks with a little headlight on. He could just send him up there.
Yeah, they send a mouse up there to do it. A trained mouse to go up there and do it. Jeff, have you ever had one of those?
Not yet.
Not yet. You're about that age. You should go get one just for the fun of it. How about you, Steph?
No. I don't even do the stuff that I'm supposed to do, the regular stuff.
Oh, no.
Like they can tell me something's wrong and I need to come back and do something else, and I just won't do it.
Oh,
I set it and forget it. Just set it for.
Your body is a Mr. Ron Popeil rotisserie. What was that thing called? Set it and forget it. It was the what? What was it called?
What was it?
The what?
The Bassomatic.
No, it wasn't the Bassomatic. That's not even a real thing. But you know what? There was a real thing. Was that stupid fishing pole?
Pocket fisherman.
Yeah, the pocket fisherman. Whoever fishes, like, you can't fish.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Pocket fisherman.
Was that another one that cocaine miracle cleaner guy came up with? Billy, whatever his name.
No, that was Ron Popeil. He was the original pitch guy. Ron Popeil. Even Weird Al Yankovic had a song about it. Mr. Popeil.
He's the one that did the spray on hair.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I think he would endorse anything. My favorite one of all those dudes was Billy Mays, though.
That's what I was talking about. Cocaine dude.
Yeah, he hit his head. He didn't have his seatbelt on, and that's how he died. He hit his head on a plane ceiling.
Oh, I thought he was coked out of his mind. His heart exploded.
Well, that might be it too. But I'd always heard that he'd hit his head on the airplane roof. So anyway, that was my day, my last 24 hours, just doing all that stuff, and I was really, 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 really hungry today, but I didn't do anything about that. I wanted Chick-fil-A so bad. That's when I come out of when you come out of it, because you've been fasting for so long that you're just starving, and I was just clamoring. But instead, I just got coffee because I don't.
He told me he found like a 20-piece Chick-fil-A nuggets in your colon.
Who did? My doctor?
Yeah.
How do you know my doctor?
He told me he found a 20-piece.
Oh, nice. Well,
No Polynesian sauce.
well, that's okay. He can make his own.
Some Szechuan sauce.
Yes. Nutty mustard. That's what I call it. The nutty mustard sauce is handmade. So we got all sorts of stuff to talk about. No Ira today. I wonder when he's going to come back and play another game. I love that game that he came up with.
Yeah, that was so much fun.
Yeah, so we need to get him back. Are you guys hunkering down for Hurricane Sally?
Is that going to affect us at all?
Yeah, we're going to get a shitload of rain, like 4 inches of rain. We got flash flood warnings.
No, Tim, stop. Who told you this? Brad Nitz?
No, I don't listen to him. Kirk Mellish told me.
The Whizometer?
Pardon?
The Whizometer told you?
I don't know. The Whizometer? That's the device that they pee in and dump over your head over there, Channel 11. And they tell the weather that way. No.
Mellish meter?
Huh?
The Mellish meter? Yes,
the Mellish meter. It's going to be a -10 on Thursday. Yeah, so today I went to Home Depot and I got flood preparations and batteries and all that crap.
God bless it. Is it really going to be? Is there going to be high winds?
I don't know about that. They could be tropical depression winds, so we'll see. It could be 30 to 40 miles an hour. That's always worse than the rain, but our basement floods all the time. So I went out and what else did I get? I just got all that shit you need, in case you flood, batteries and your power goes out. I started up the generator. I got up on the roof today, cleaned off all the pine needles and cleaned the gutters. So we're ready to go if it rains.
Yeah, I was going to have a big gender reveal party in your backyard this weekend. And
wait until it's dry.
Set your whole yard on fire.
You see that guy who shot himself in the nuts?
No.
That's the latest one. There's a new gender reveal thing on Twitter. A guy had some sort of confetti gun or whatever. He ended up shooting himself in the balls. It was hilarious.
Serves him right.
Yeah, just and then I'm with Trevor Noah, the host of the Daily Show, the comedy show, the Daily Show. It's a comedy, a nightly comedy show where they do comedic things. He said that that gender reveal parties are wrong because you're supposed to wait for the child to decide.
Oh wow!
Speaking of which, before we get going, now Robbie Coltrane is in trouble. Hagrid from the Harry Potter movies, he's in trouble and he's being canceled because he said something in support of J.K. Rowling. That came back up again. I guess she has a new book out with like a Buffalo Bill type of character. A guy who wants to whatever. I don't care, but. Hagrid's dead to me now. Oh, Hagrid's dead to me.
Because he supported her?
Because he supported her right to say what she said. He didn't say he agreed with her. He just supported her right to have an opinion. So now, if you support somebody's right to have an opinion, and I realized, and I've known this for a long time, and Steph, you're right about this too, it's all on Twitter. And when you go to the CVS or the Walgreens, there's nobody talking about J.K. Rowling and how she feels about transgendered people. So just Twitter is its own country, its own little universe. And when you walk into that little town of Twitter, you have to abide by their rules. But once you leave, you can be whoever you want to be. But make sure when you're in Twitter, it's woke land.
They just want you to come in negative unless it's about something that they like.
Yes.
But other than that, be negative.
Something that I like is doing this podcast with both of you guys.
I can't even imagine why it's still going to go on, but The Walking Dead is finally going to end after season 11. I mean, it's been over for most of us for a while now, but...
And they're drawing it out, too, over 2 years.
2 years?
Like 26 episodes.
Jesus Christ.
Because they're really going to take... And then after that, it goes into the Daryl and Carol spinoff.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to have some spinoff of some other crap. I don't know. Just more...
They should call it Daryl Loves Carol.
Make it like a 70s sitcom.
Yeah, like Joni Loves Chachi.
Where Daryl's the superintendent of the building and all the other apartments are occupied by zombies.
Yeah, yeah. And the superintendent is a zombie, but he's lovable. And he's always hitting on women.
He's like a cross between Bookman.
Here you go.
It's a
But
comment-
he does that dance.
Yeah.
it's a commentary on our times.
Jeff, you're still a big fan of the show. Why are they doing this? Why haven't they wrapped it up? Because there's no resolution. There's not going to be it's like there's never going to be a resolution to this. They're not going to stumble upon a cure, right?
Well, there's a final issue of the comic book, and people are wondering if it's going to end the same way as the comic book.
How did the comic book end?
I don't want to spoil it for everybody, but it like flashes forward like 20 years.
Yeah, but there's still zombies, right?
Yeah, but they got them under control, basically.
Oh yeah, but still, like when you die,
Yeah.
you turn into a zombie. I don't know. It's kind of like that show's Dallas or something. Jeff, all right, but it's one of those shows. It's run for such a long time now, right? How many years has it been on? 12, 13 years?
I think it's 9.
9, okay. So 2 more seasons and then Carol and Daryl. All right. Yippee, yippee, yippee.
We go
How
into
about
that.
Fear the Walking Dead. Is that coming back?
Yeah, that's coming back also.
Okay. How about Walking Dead Miami? Will that be anytime soon?
Yeah, that spinoff is coming back. That was supposed to come back last year, but it got shut down because of COVID.
What did?
The production of the spinoff with the Riverdale Walking Dead.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I thought there really was like a CSI Walking Dead Miami.
I was just
No, it's all geared toward younger people.
NCIS Des Moines. That's what I'm looking for.
And now we're all watching The Boys.
Yeah, we all caught up. Everybody.
I'm caught up.
Me too.
Yep.
But I should be completely done with it because the whole season should have dropped, but it did not. They're doling it out 1 week at a time. They give you those first 3 episodes, and now they're making you do this crap where you get a new episode on Friday. Like, we're not paying $90 a year for this piece of shit Prime membership where you didn't even get your stuff delivered for 5 months because of COVID.
Well, you can get COVID isn't Jeff Bezos' fault. Hey, give him a break. He got divorced and lost half of his money.
Anyway, people are pissed, if you can't tell from my reaction.
Jeff
And-
is pissed.
Steph's a millennial now.
Yeah. Come on. You grew up like we did with regular, you had to wait. Sometimes you had to wait 6 months, 3 or 4 months. Remember? Okay. Here's 2 examples. Who shot JR and who shot Mr. Burns? You waited all summer long. And you didn't, there was nothing you could do about it. Now you have to wait a week. You can't wait a week.
I mean, I can wait a week, but don't give me, you give me everything and then you just like take it back. You can't do that. You can't flowers for Algernon people. You can't let them have it and then take it away.
Yeah.
That's garbage. It's different if the series started out that way, doling it out an episode at a time. But the fact that they gave you the first season, then they come back with this bullshit.
Yeah.
And especially when most people, they had already planned, I'm going to binge the hell out of this and then find out there's only 3 episodes.
Now, don't you look?
This keeps the talk of The Boys going for at least a month instead of all happening in one weekend and then it's over and everybody stops talking about it.
Well, I'm not that as big of a douchebag, nor do I care enough to go on the rating system and just assail them that like these other little jerks are.
Right.
So they're going on there and they're giving them garbage ratings to make the series like a 2.1 just because they didn't get all their episodes at one time.
Well, I get it. It would have been nice to have binged the whole thing. I mean, I like that. If you have that option, if you like. But
just shut up and watch it when it comes on. And watch the after show.
Yeah, watch the after show and all that shit. But I do like it so far this season. I was a little bored this most recent episode.
Yeah, it was a filler episode.
Yeah, it was kind of filler, but there was a lot of, oh, I love you. Oh, I love you. Let's make love. And, but we can't be together. That seemed to be the theme. But Aya Cash's character, Stormfront, is really starting to be my new favorite. I like her in-your-face attitude. And I know that a lot of people are mad because in the comic book, Stormfront is a guy. I understand that. But, she's a pretty fucking good actress. And
I know why you like her, though.
And she's selling it. Why?
Oh, right.
Whatever. She's a great actress. I liked her on the other stuff that she was in. What was that?
The Worst.
She's really good in that. And she's fucking hilarious. So, and I do like that she gives Homelander the red ass.
She
But
was scared though when he fired up those eyeballs.
yeah, that's true.
She backed her ass down. So I'm wondering if the two of them are the most powerful, but she still feels threatened by his ass. That's why she has to manipulate him. She can't just
Right.
crush his ass because he is so damn powerful.
Gus Fring isn't afraid of him.
He isn't, and that makes me wonder if Gus has got another little something something in his back pocket that's even more powerful than any of them.
I don't know.
Shoot some V.
What's that?
Been shooting up some V.
Yeah. Was he on last season, Mr. Edgar?
Yeah, at the very end.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. I hardly remember it, but yeah, he's the chief of Vought. I love him, man. He's really solidified himself as the go-to bad guy if the series is really good. And he's such an amazing actor. The first time I saw him that I can recall is Do the Right Thing. And he was the guy that rode the bicycle around. And then he was just, spotty in a lot of different things in the early 90s. But he's a great actor, so I'm happy to see him in a lot of stuff. Let's see. Yeah, anyway, Aya Cash is great. Sean Ashmore is Lamplighter. Those are some of the new characters on the show. Jeff's favorite part was watching Homelander give head to him almost.
But he didn't. But he.
I know. But that was a funny scene. That whole character. At first, I thought, maybe she was still alive.
Oh yeah.
But no, she wasn't alive.
But he burned her eye holes out. There's no way she's still alive. But
yeah,
I thought maybe he cloned her.
Yeah, not a ruddy guy named Doppelganger.
Guy putting that breast milk. Oh.
I know that's gross, but the Homeland is such a creepy character. It's like, I like where the season's going though, and there's going to be a third season, so that's pretty fucking cool. So we're going to be talking about it every week. So since it's a weekly show, we can do that now.
Mm-hmm. Sure. Well, just as long as these assholes don't get it canceled by giving it, no rating at all.
Yeah, no doubt.
But what else is pretty cool is it was really sad. We all, I think, agree whenever Adam West died, and then we lost him as Mayor West on Family Guy. Mm-hmm. But he's going to have a brother that's rolling up on the set, somebody that we are all very familiar with, Mr. Sam Elliott.
Oh yeah,
he's going to kind of be taking his place, and his name, because he's a cowboy, is Wild Wild West.
Wild.
His first name is Wild, and his middle name is Wild.
That's my middle name, Wild. Let me see if I can get into the voice. Coors, the banquet beer. You got to do that upper lip thing.
Yeah, you got to have the mustache on your upper lip there.
Well, you can also do the lip hanging over. There was a movie he was in a couple of years ago where he didn't have a mustache and he looked really bizarre. Played an asshole.
What made you decide to take the role on Family Guy, Sam?
Funny. Why else do you think Sam Elliott sits and watches Family Guy?
Well, actually, he turned him down whenever they first pitched the idea to him because they wanted him to just kind of be himself, play himself, and he was not into it at all. They had to kind of make this character, this Wild Wild West character, that his own natural vernacular would fit in with, but it's still somebody different than him. That's the only reason why I agreed to do it.
Yeah, I don't understand that. That was what was cool about Adam West being the mayor, or what's cool about James Woods being on the show, although I doubt Seth MacFarlane would have him on the show now. But James Woods was just James Woods, the actor, but he was also a weird dude. And
I don't know if that Seth wouldn't have him on the show. He doesn't really do anything on that. He hasn't been on the show since like 2010.
No, I think they changed the name of the school too.
Yeah,
James Woods High to something else
because James Woods is a Trump supporter and Seth MacFarlane is super woke. So I don't think that
he's not that woke.
Yeah, he is. If you see him on Twitter, he is. It doesn't matter. I'm just saying that I think that's why you don't see James Woods. He's pro-Republican or whatever.
No, I only meant just because I just heard him on Dax Shepard's podcast not that long ago, and he is woke, but to the degree where he hates people being canceled.
Oh, I know, because he's
very against that.
Because he's a creative type, and he thinks that you should be able to do what you want to do on your show. You know, it's really, and I can agree with that, because life is about how you act, not about how you write or how you create. You know, you can create anything. Any story is a viable story to tell. But if you act like a normal person and a decent person, then you're a decent person. If you act like a shithead, then you're a shithead. So that's how I view things, you know. But Sam Elliott will be on Family Guy.
We'll all be digging that. I know that you were probably freaking out a little bit, Tim, when they canceled the Venture Brothers.
I was mad. I wasn't freaking out, but I was pissed because it's such a good show. I know it takes forever to make an episode, but it's all because they care about their craft and they work really hard on them. But what's the news? Are they coming back?
It looks like HBO Max may be picking them up. So
good.
That would HBO Max is going to be like some animation juggernaut, probably.
Well, it's the same company. That's what fucks me up in the head. It's the same company, right? Time Warner owns Adult Swim. Time Warner owns HBO Max, right? Right? Am I right or am I wrong? Yeah. So
You're right.
They already have they have all the old episodes on HBO Max. They have all the old episodes of Space Ghost Coast to Coast, I believe. All sorts of stuff from Adult Swim that we like. You know, and the other day I was watching, do you remember Courageous Cat? Oh,
the music, yeah, okay, all right, yeah, I do remember.
And Minute Mouse, was that the name of his site?
Yeah.
Minute Mouse, yeah. And then they always fought this stupid frog. The episodes are terrible. I'm watching them, but when I was a kid, I loved that show because I loved the car and I loved the song. So I'm like, I'm going to watch a couple of these episodes. The animation wasn't very good. It was very cheaply produced, but I'm looking at it now as a 49-year-old as opposed to a 6-year-old. And I started thinking about all these old animators and stuff and how much work they did. And that show wasn't on a network. It was just syndicated. But it was pretty cool other than the awful animation and bad story. Do you remember the frog? It was like kind of a cross.
Edward G. Robinson.
Yeah, but it didn't sound like it. It sounded like Edward G. Robinson and Humphrey Bogart had a baby. That's what it sounded like.
Well, Jeff, if I can get us some cheap airfare, you think we could maybe fly over to Taiwan and get this chocolate-covered Whopper?
What color does that turn your poop?
I can't even imagine. And it was just supposed to be like a little joke thing. Well, people were into it, right? So now they're selling this Whopper over there covered in chocolate sauce.
Gross. So it's covered in wet chocolate sauce. You have to eat it with a fork or something?
No, I mean, like a chocolate sauce you would put on an ice cream sundae.
So that it's hard.
No, I mean, I think it's like an in-between, like a hot fudge chocolate sauce.
That's the thing. The Whopper makes hot fudge on its own. You just have to wait a couple of hours.
This is just a little bit sweeter.
Nah, that's just gross. I'm not interested in that. That's like, I could eat a hamburger or a cheeseburger with like a Krispy Kreme donut bun. You remember when that was like a thing for a minute?
Oh, yeah.
I could eat that.
I had that.
Yeah, it wasn't too bad. It's not something I'd want to eat all the time, but I don't like the idea. First of all, it's Burger King and it's a Whopper, and they're not as good as they were when they were made out of real meat and food. But
I like the Impossible Whopper. I'm all about it. I love it, but I don't want chocolate on it.
I find it impossible to not shit my pants if I eat that burger.
You order the Whopper and then take it over to Dairy Queen and have them dip it in the chocolate dip.
Have you ever really done that? If you like a bunch of places you like are on the same road, have you ever gone to Burger King and gotten the Whopper and then gone to McDonald's and gotten the fries?
I'll go to Zaxby's and get a salad, then McDonald's and get the fries, and then through Krispy Kreme to get my dessert. So I'll do that.
Do you take it all home or do you eat it in the car while you're
usually I'll get some car fries and home fries.
Yeah.
I get fries to eat in the car.
You do not do that. Do you really?
Tim.
Okay, you do.
Tim.
Oh man, I miss those days.
I don't do this all the time, but like when I get on a tear, that's my crack. It's my complete cocaine. Yes. Yeah, when I get on a tear, there's no stopping me. And once the wheels are set in motion, like once I've got my shoes on, it doesn't matter. I'm going to get whatever it is that I'm dreaming about. But I'm going to be very upset whenever I go trudging out and there's no Mexican pizza anymore at midnight.
Mexican pizza where?
Taco Bell.
At Taco Bell. They're getting rid of it.
I don't eat there.
Taco Bell's
Well,
just
there's
going to be Bells from now on.
Yeah.
Just
Why are they getting rid of
tacos.
it?
They are claiming that it's an environmental issue. I guess because they're saying that the Mexican pizza requires too much boxage,
So
paper. So I know, and people love the fuck out of this Mexican pizza. I know I do. I get it without the meat, and it's a crispy, disgusting thing, but it's still good. Well, change.org, you can go and sign their petition. They're trying to get 75,000 signatures. They're up to like 51,000 signatures right now of people that are about to lose their mind. So go to change.org if you want to save this Mexican pizza and sign the petition, because they can't take everything from us. I mean, in the year of COVID, we've lost so much. Do not take this pizza from us.
I want a petition to add rum to the pineapple whip freeze.
Oh, that is gone, isn't it? Already, that was a little summer.
Is it?
Yeah, I think so. I think
The sign's still up at the one over by Kroger.
the what now? What were we talking about?
Pineapple whip freeze.
Oh, I don't know.
It's really good. Yeah.
But I don't like anything enough to go to change.org and sign a petition. I don't care about anything.
Well,
It's worthwhile maybe, but not a fucking disgusting Taco Bell. Everything's done. Who knows if they're even going to get rid of it? Everything is all trickery in a weird form of advertising now, because you can't just throw a commercial on TV, radio, or whatever and expect that people are going to know about your product. You got to have people talking about it in either a good or a negative way. So you got to get it on social media. You got to get it on Facebook. You got people fighting about it. Like, just take, for example, okay, I'll do these last two real quick. I want to talk about this. Falcon and the Winter Soldier, sorry, I'm stepping on you, but are filming in Atlanta. So that's great.
Yeah, that's why they just restarted, because the show was supposed to start airing in August, and they had to shut it down. So I don't know, but I was geeked about the show.
And then oh wait, which one is the show? Falcon?
It's the Falcon and the Winter Soldier. They have their own show together.
I didn't know that. I love fucking Falcon. I think he's really cool. I wish I like, out of all that new Marvel shit, he's one of the characters I actually like. So that's cool.
And I like the Winter Soldier too. He's pretty badass. And now there's no Captain America because he's retired.
And he's showing.
He got canceled for showing his dick.
Not by everybody.
Yeah, people.
But yeah.
And then SNL is returning to 30 Rock for the first time since March. So.
And South Park's doing a COVID special on September 30th. You guys skipped over that.
I didn't know that. That's awesome.
Hour-long pandemic episode on Comedy Central.
I'm sure that'll be very fucking funny.
Oh, God, I can't wait.
I can't either. We need something like that to make fun of every single person out there. Doesn't matter who you are, what you believe, they're going to make fun of you, and I hope you laugh. Because if you can't laugh, then you shouldn't watch South Park. So what I was saying about advertising, you're going to talk about that show, that movie or whatever that's on Netflix, that Cuties. And Cuties is a movie about some girls in France who are on a dance troupe. They're prepubescent, I guess, or whatever.
You seem to know an awful lot about this movie, Tim.
Yeah, I know. And because I haven't watched it yet, but I've heard all these stories I'm explaining as to why they do these things. And there's an immigrant, there's a lot of immigrants in France from Northern Africa and Eastern Africa. And anyway, so I guess the premise of this is that all these girls are doing that twerking and like slutty dancing, and they're way too young. You can tell that they're way too young.
They're 11. Yeah,
they're 11. And the movie is supposed to be something that points out the ridiculousness of children acting that way, or sexually exploiting children. And so there's the fight. So now you have, this is one of those things. It's polarizing. You have the people on the right who are now labeled, okay, the people who like Trump hate this movie, and people who like Joe Biden like this movie. That's how they have it positioned. It's like, I take hydroxychloroquine, I'm with Trump, or I take remdesivir. So, it's just that stupid political shit that's infested everything. But as far as this movie goes, is Netflix put out a teaser trailer and a poster where the girls were looking coquettish, and everybody got upset by it. So now there's just fight after fight on and people arguing with each other over stupid bullshit on Facebook and Twitter about this stupid movie that some people I've seen have said they saw it and they didn't think it was that bad. Other people said, I can't watch this. But the bottom line is that it is hype and it is advertising. And then in 2020, that is the way you get your product out there is to have people fighting about it. And it's so bizarre to me. Could you imagine we were kids? It was like, the Dunkin' Donut, it's time to make the donuts. Fuck you, I don't want to make the donuts. Well, I'm making the donuts. Well, then you're a Reagan supporter if you get up early. I mean, it's just dumb. But that's the way you got to do everything these days. Even with football now, everybody's fighting about that. Did you guys watch football on Sunday?
Little on Sunday. I watched Monday night game.
I know you watched Monday night. You must not have been very happy.
No.
I thought it was nice to see something that to me is more comfortable than watching baseball. Baseball, you're watching the game and there's nobody there and that it's super COVID-y. But you're watching football and there's hype and they got the fake crowd noise, which is kind of cool because some of them have crowds and some of them don't. But it just felt normal. It was the first time I saw something on TV live like that made me feel normal. And plus the Bills kicked ass and it was nice. So
they're going out of their way to try and not show the crowd at all.
Yeah, I mean, there's people there, but who cares?
The empty stands. They're all the shots are like field level now.
Yeah,
except for like the kicks. That's the only thing they can't not show the crowd. But all the rest of the game,
right?
They go from field level.
And again, the people are bitching. Oh, they kneeled or they didn't kneel. I don't care about any of that. I just want to watch football, and it delivered. Except for I wanted the Lions to win, and they got fucking beat. So maybe that's why Steph wasn't very happy.
Well, I mean, there was no team that I have ever rooted for that won. So the Falcons, I mean, come on.
Oh, who cares about that?
I can't even.
They didn't. I'm not yay Falcons. I want them to do really well, of course, because they're the hometown team. But I didn't really care. I was more happy to watch Brady lose, because to me it showed that hey, Tom Brady's great and Gronk is great and everything, but you need Bill Belichick.
Well, Steph's gone. Tim, did you hear about that Good Times animated show that's coming to Netflix?
Yeah, I sent that text. I thought to both of you, maybe it was just to her. Yeah, I saw that. What do you think about that? It's going to be on Netflix?
Yeah, and Norman Lear's doing it. So
set in the 70s?
No, it's supposed to be modern day, but I don't know if it's the same characters or what.
I don't know. Then why don't they just call it something else?
I don't know how they call it.
Okay.
Yeah, how they call it Good Times if it's not the same characters.
Well, there's only a couple alive still.
Right, but they could have people doing the voices.
They could. I don't. They'd have to have Kenan Thompson do Florida. Damn.
You're wrong for that.
We did it on Saturday Night Live. That's the only reason why.
I'm just wondering if they're gonna do a cartoon Penny getting burned with a cartoon iron. or a cartoon Deaf Boy falling down an elevator shaft.
Did that happen on that show?
Yeah, I remember it was like a two-parter.
A very special Good Times.
Yeah, when Florida was driving the bus and there was the kid on there she tried to tell that lady, and the lady's like, Don't be telling me how to raise my child. And it turns out that the kid was deaf and couldn't hear, and then he fell down the elevator shaft.
Wait, something. He was deaf and he couldn't hear?
that cancels it out. Maybe he could hear so well that he was deafened by the elevator doors opening. I don't know.
Almost every episode of Good Times was a very special episode. The old lady that you fed them, they thought they were eating dog food, but she only fed herself dog food. She made them meatloaf out of real meat.
Good Times was a great show. If you ever are bored and you're on YouTube, go to that Television Academy or whatever it is, where they have actors talking about their shows, and you can hear, Jimmy Walker talking about the show, and then John Amos, is that his name?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm having a brain fart. He's like, yeah, I got my head, and I got a big ego, and then one day after the first or second season or whatever, I got a call from Norman Lear saying, hey, you're not going to be on the show anymore, and I'm like, fuck you, and I hung up on him because he wanted money, and he didn't. He goes, this was a show about a family, and it ended up being dynamite every 10 seconds, and he hated it. I never really knew why he left the show, but I guess that's why. I'm not excited about this, by the way, but go ahead.
But it was also pointed out to me, even when Thelma married the football player, they never moved out of this apartment. They just all kept staying in this apartment.
No, when they get out of the ghetto in the final episode.
Okay.
She marries him. He gets hurt or something, but I know she marries him, and JJ gets a job as a commercial artist someplace, at least to my recollection.
Then wasn't Michael supposed to be an attorney? He was going on to be an attorney or something.
Well, yeah, Thelma's brother was going to pay for college.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, maybe Florida stayed there because that was a nice. But did they move Walona out with them?
I don't know. I can't remember.
I think Walona put Penny out on the street.
Yeah, you just never saw it. I mean, once Penny got a new job on Different Strokes and never saw her again.
Yes, that's right. Her job was to date Willis.
Right. And cause every girl in America to want a giant hoop earring with their house key hanging from it.
Yeah. She was awesome on that show. I'm like, oh my God, there's Penny.
Well, she was beautiful. She's beautiful.
Yeah, I had a crush on her back. Not when she was Penny, even though we're roughly the same age. But I watch Different Strokes in reruns. I mean, not Different Strokes. I watch Good Times in reruns, like everybody else.
Well, sure, yeah. I loved Good Times. Good Times, All in the Family, Jeffersons, all those normal.
How about Maude? Did you like Maude?
Loved Maude.
Come on, Maude.
Maude. I remember the abortion episode when I was a kid. I was like,
wow. Abortion, Maude. I don't care what you think. How about the episode where Florida and James get in a big fight?
Oh, yeah, that was intense.
My woman ain't working. James.
Poor Michael and JJ had to sleep on the couch bed together.
That's right. That was a good show. Hey, so there's a brand new show that you guys talked about for a couple of weeks that I hadn't tuned into, but now I'm all caught up. I watched all 5 episodes that are available. Raised by Wolves. How about Raised by Wolves, right? What a show.
Love it.
How about you, Jeff? Do you like it?
Yeah.
I haven't ever seen anything like it, and it's one of those shows that just pops up, and there's no woke bullshit in it. There's just a million different kind of people and a good story. That's all I ask for.
The first 2 are directed by Ridley Scott, so it's got that Ridley Scott feel to the whole series.
Yes,
and a bunch of them are directed by his son.
Yeah, and one of the characters, there's really, just in a nutshell, it's a story about humanity had to leave Earth. There were atheists factions, and there were religious factions that call themselves Mithras, so they're sun worshippers. And there's a lot of real stuff involved in all that. In case you guys, I mean, I did a real deep dive on this and found out like there's all sorts of things going on with the names and everything. They're all allegories for something or other, I guess. But the gist is that the atheists get to this planet Kepler or something or other first.
Kepler 22.
Kepler 22b, which is a real planet, and the atheists get there first because they can travel faster with less people. They don't need a big ship, so they send these 2 androids, and they're called Mother and Father. And Mother has been programmed to be able to give birth to human embryos or to carry them to term. And so all these children are born, and I'm not going to spoil it, but these kids are born on this planet, and Mother and Father are raising them, the 2 androids. And all of a sudden, then you find out, the humans get there, the religious humans get there, whatever, the Mithras, and you find out that this mother is a battle droid of some sort. They call it a necromancer, and she actually looks like the robot from Metropolis. Remember that old, that classic movie, Metropolis? And she's a necromancer, so she flies in the air, and also has a very H.R. Giger look to it. And H.R. Giger did all the artwork for Alien. He also did Penis Landscapes, which is the reason Jello Biafra got arrested, because he put it in his liner notes in an old Dead Kennedys album. Never heard that story, but I love this movie. This show. It's slow moving, but even though it's slow moving, it's captivating because the characters are good. Mm-hmm. I don't know. What do you guys think?
Yeah, it's good so far.
Yeah, it's super. I feel like it's super original.
Mm-hmm.
I love the whole concept of it. I love how at first you think they're really going after organized religion quite a bit of any sort, like those type of zealots. But then her beliefs, the android's beliefs, are almost, they're zealot in their own right.
Yes.
She's so it's like either way you go, it's an extreme viewpoint.
Right.
Right. So, like the kids, as they're raising them, they're trying to raise them as atheists, but just like naturally, the kids start developing like faith in religion.
Yeah, and I don't want to say
And-
why because we'll spoil it. So
Right.
I mean,
They try and talk them out of it.
yeah,
And I love I was so surprised about the side story of the people that are impersonating
Right.
the kids' parents.
Yep.
When they told their whole backstory, because I mean, it was like, oh wow, this is a whole other show here.
Right.
It all connects. And then the wife that I did not realize that Danny Cooksey from Terminator 2 was going to be in this.
what? Yeah, that's right. She does look like Danielle Cooksey. Let's get out of here, Mr. D.
It's just like Danny Cooksey.
Atheist coming, Mr. D. Mr. D.
But I think it's great, and I love Father. Father's cool as shit.
He's awesome.
Can you believe Father was born? Father was born in 1993.
The actor?
Yes.
Yeah, I can believe it because we're old. But
But I was like, oh my God. But I thought he was like 38 or something.
Yeah,
Then just the thoughts that somebody that was born in 93 is like a grown up.
Yeah.
It baffles me.
It's one of the another thing about the show that I like is they do a lot of flashbacks to help move the story along, but it's not annoying and it doesn't distract you from the story, which I like. So if you have HBO Max, give this show a chance. It's called Raised by Wolves, and it's really good. I mean, if you like the Alien, it's I don't know if it's in the same universe, but it does have that same feel.
It's very Ridley Scott.
Yeah,
The chick that plays Mother is going to be nominated for like every award.
yeah, she's fantastic. Everybody, I can't rave enough about it, and I don't rave a lot about television. So it's very
Campion,
good.
though, I hope Campion falls in a hole.
Yeah, well, Campion, little pussy. He's like a little Anakin Skywalker.
We're going to eat it, Father. We'll eat roots.
We'll eat the fungus that I found in the hole. Let's climb down the hole. The other thing all three of us watched, I think, is Class Action Park.
Yes. So
Yeah.
funny.
You guys want to go
Funny
jump
is
off
that?
the suicide? Whatever. I never went there. Did you, Jeff?
No,
I
I
saw.
don't even really remember commercials for it on WPIX, but they showed a bunch of them.
Yeah, I remember the commercials. I remember wanting to go there, but it's such an 80s place. And I love that they have all that footage of the people that work there. It's like the unsupervised staff that if you got hurt, they're just like, get up.
Or they spray you with that Bactine stuff in the room.
That's hilarious.
They give your tendons ripped open by embedded teeth in the slide.
Yeah, exactly.
Weren't you jealous of those parties? Their end of the summer parties that they would have? I was like, oh my God, I can't imagine being a kid in the 80s and that's your job. And then they have this big ass bash there.
Yeah, but I would have been the guy outside of the shed jacking off, listening to everybody. But we went. To me, that's totally a place that we would have gone when we were kids, and Jeff would have said, "You're a chicken if you don't do this," and I would have gotten mad and done it and then hurt myself.
Hopefully.
Yes, well, that's what would have happened, or somebody would have bullied me.
You guys should have just told me that Chris Gethard was in, and I would have watched it a lot sooner than I did. He was like the star of the movie.
He was
Yeah.
good. He was funny too. I mean, just the fact that he had such his own personal experience from going there.
Yeah,
If your mic sounds quiet, did you turn yourself down?
How about now? Is that better?
yeah,
A little better.
a little
All right.
better.
Well, you couldn't hear me beating that dog, could you?
No.
Okay, good.
No.
That was it.
Some douchebag beat his dog, and some rich fuck beat his dog, and it went viral on Twitter. And I'm sorry.
As some CEO of a company.
Yeah. So if you guys, what is that on HBO? Is that also on HBO Max, or is it on
Mhm.
something else?
That's also HBO Max.
Yeah, check out Class Action Park, especially if you're Gen X and you grew up in the Northeast and saw the commercials for it. It's like the dangerous Disneyland. So you guys, we've spent the last couple of months maybe doing a year or revisiting a month out of a year. I thought a thing we could do now would be to do this, which is This Week in Pop Culture. What do you think about that?
Let's do it.
We'll look at every day
Cool.
between the date that the show is released. So the show will be released on September 16th. all the way through the 22nd, and then we'll do it every week. How about that?
Yeah.
Sounds like a good time.
All right. So this week in pop culture, on September 16th, 1972, the Bob Newhart Show debuted on CBS. What a show. Now, I watched that when it was on, but usually with an adult, of course. Like usually my grandparents, they watched all those CBS shows. Vague memories of that because it wasn't on in syndication very much when we were young either. Do you remember much about it, either of you guys?
Where he was the psychiatrist?
Yeah, I mean, it was on syndication later and we got to see it, but
it
took a long time.
No, I only remember Newhart.
Yeah, I love Newhart. In some ways, I think Newhart's better, but they're both really, really funny shows.
Anything with Tom Poston.
Oh, yeah. And like Mork and Mindy. Tom Poston.
If you're going to watch a Bob Newhart show, watch the ventriloquist one now.
What's that?
That's a great one.
Was that his last show?
No, the one of his patients on the Bob Newhart show is ventriloquist.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, the original show is fantastic. And he was always doing his, he got famous doing a phone. He would be on the phone and he would improv a phone bit like of a CEO talking to somebody and there'd be a lot of stammering and yeah. You've ever seen him do that? You can watch it on YouTube. And he did a lot of that on the Bob Newhart show. So you can watch it. A lot of it's on YouTube. You can find it someplace. In 1984, ER debuted on NBC, but it's not the ER you're thinking of. It's the other ER, which also had George Clooney, but the star was Elliot Gould. And it was a sitcom. It was funny. Mary McDonnell from Dances with Wolves and Battlestar Galactica was on it. You guys remember Conchata Ferrell?
Nope.
That sounds familiar.
You would know her if you saw her. She was ubiquitous on television in the 70s and 80s. Conchata, Conchata Ferrell. She was a very funny comedic actress, and she was on that. She played like the saucy nurse. She was always playing like the saucy, sarcastic lady, and she was very funny. Moving to September 17th, Jeff Leboff was born on September 17th. Oh, by the way, we missed Steph's birthday last week, so happy birthday, Steph, and happy early birthday, Jeff.
Yeah, happy birthday, Steph.
Oh, God bless him. I could have just worried with him, Jeff. Thanks, guys. Happy birthday, Jeff.
Yeah.
So you have to bring that up. I even took it off Facebook because I was like,
anybody be nice to me.
I just don't care. I don't want to talk about it. It's like, let's pretend it didn't happen.
1964, September the 17th, 1964, Bewitched premiered on ABC. The show that made me fall in love with Elizabeth Montgomery. I liked Bewitched more than I liked I Dream of Jeannie. For some reason, I thought it was funnier. Although I watched I Dream of Jeannie just because I wouldn't. But
because you were in love with Major Healy.
That's right. I loved Major Healy. Major Healy was actually the funniest person on the show. I thought Major Healy was cool.
Bewitched was definitely funnier than I Dream of Jeannie.
Oh, hell yeah.
For sure.
Dick Sargent wasn't as good of a Darren as Dick York was, but it was still okay.
Yeah, but it was all the revolving cast of characters. Paul Lynde and Mrs. Kravitz, and then the lady that played Endora. I mean, they had so many good...
What was her name? That was Endora? No, Endora was the mom.
No, she was the...
Aunt Clara, that's I think I lost her. Yeah, Aunt Clara was cool. In 1967, the Doors sang Light My Fire on Ed Sullivan, and they didn't change the lyrics like they were asked to, and they were never invited back. You know that it would be untrue. Girl, We Couldn't Get Much Higher. Now, do you guys remember the Doors movie with the Val Kilmer was in?
Yeah.
Directed by Oliver Stone. Okay, so if you watch the original video, or if you watch that movie, they do it in a way where like Jim Morrison gets in your face and goes, "Hi!" Remember?
Yeah.
Watch the video from Ed Sullivan. He doesn't do that. He just sings the song. There's no emotional expression in his face at all. They just sing the song. But they did get in trouble and they were not ever invited back. In 1969, Mr. Jeff Leboff was born, like we said. In 1972, MASH premiered on CBS. All the good shows were on CBS back then. And I love taking those little quizzes online. I took one the other day, a MASH quiz, and I think I got like the equivalent of a 90 on it. Jeff was pretty good with MASH trivia. You should take that, Jeff. Did you try?
I got 100.
You got 100? You did not get 100.
Got 100.
You got 100. You're the only person I know who got a 100 on that.
No, Chris DePetta got 100 also.
Well, I don't follow him on Twitter, so I didn't know that.
Oh, he's
This was a place for us to play Mash Bingo online or something.
Ash Bingo? I got hot lips. 1978, Battlestar Galactica launched on
good Battlestar Galactica.
ABC Network. No, the good one didn't really launch until 2004. The okay one launched in 1978. Although that first season was amazing. Lauren Green, so it was a Western in space starring, Pa. Bonanza in Space Bonanza. He was a good actor, though, and that was a good show. Especially, like I said, that first season. It got a little crazy. The Galactica 1980.
Yeah, 1980 was bad.
Yeah. Well, that was just
almost as bad as the new Battlestar Galactica.
Yeah, that show's good. By the way, the droid show kind of reminds me of that, though. What Raised by Wolves. The thing is with Battlestar Galactica, it had great ratings, but ABC couldn't afford to produce the show. So that's why they got fucked. That show could have run for a long time if ABC had coughed up the money, but they didn't. And then in 2009, Archer premiered on Adult Swim, and Archer's coming out soon, I believe, right?
September 17th.
Yeah, ooh, right on your birthday, and on the anniversary of its launch.
Yep.
Moving on to September 19th, in 1954, The Adventures of Superman, the shorts that we all grew up watching, started. That's how everybody got introduced to Lois Lane, Jimmy Olsen, Perry White, and of course Clark Kent and Superman. And the story of that guy, poor thing. They made that movie with Ben Affleck, right?
Yeah, George Reeves.
Yeah, Hollywoodland, I believe it was called. In 1970, the Mary Tyler Moore Show debuted on CBS. She was divorced. They weren't allowed to talk about it. She left her husband and moved to Minneapolis, but they weren't allowed to mention that she was divorced, I don't think. Wouldn't want any of those people in the Midwest to get upset.
No, they left it up in the air.
Yeah, but she was divorced.
Right.
Yeah, they did leave it up. They're like, I think one of the first sitcoms where a single woman lived on her own with her kids who was divorced was One Day at a Time. Really. I think that's one of the first.
What about Alice?
What about what?
Alice.
Where's her husband? Alice came out after One Day at a Time.
Yeah.
Because the Alice is based on a movie called Alice Doesn't Live Here Anymore.
Right, so where's her husband?
He probably died. No, we got divorced. I don't remember. I don't know that much back. I don't know the lore behind Alice.
I don't either.
Let's see. What else happened? You guys mind this? I'm asking.
No, it's on.
Yeah, chip in. Tell me if I forget something. In 1981, Simon and Garfunkel reunited to perform in Central Park, and that ended up being an HBO special and an album. They had a couple of hits, and then they didn't get back together again for 10 years. And Jeff, you saw him? No, you just saw.
Oh, I just saw Paul Simon.
That's right. He didn't invite him again.
Chevy Chase was there though.
Oh, Chevy Chase thing.
And the bongos.
Yep.
Doing a lot of me and Julio down by the schoolyard.
Call me Al. You can call me. I love that concert. Did everybody throwing out loose joints? Thanks. 1983, the syndicated Wheel of Fortune began, and that is still on with the same two people as its main hosts and stars. So shit, that's a long time ago.
Wheel of Fortune, though. Don't you back in the day when you won $5,000 on the wheel, and you could go into the room and buy a car for $1,400.
Yeah, on that shopping spree.
But all of the shit was so overpriced.
I'll take the plaster horse for $10,000. That's it. That's all I want. I didn't win enough for the trip. I'll take the plaster horse.
$3,000 record player, please.
Oh, he's such a sarcastic fuck. That's why I like Pat Sajak.
He's funny.
Especially now. Oh, too bad. He doesn't give a shit. But yeah, I love the showcase. That was kind of cool. Is that what it was called? Or the shopping room, or whatever? Yeah. It was like, and then you could get food. They had rice-a-roni.
It was like, you got $1,500 left. Okay, I'll take.
You got $20 left. I'll take the bike. Or I'll take the big wheel. Thank you.
I'll take the Janis Joplin 8-track.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, you can get 12 of those for a penny. In 1994, ER debuts on NBC again, this time the drama. And the one that actually lasted. In
1994,
yeah. And then in 2005, How I Met Your Mother debuted. And that was on CBS, right?
Yep.
Big hit show. How long did that run? Like 10 years?
Yeah, I think so.
Huge show.
Never watched one episode.
Same here. Never saw one
No,
episode.
it was very good.
I didn't say it wasn't good. I just never saw an episode of it.
It was good.
Let's see. September 20th, 1960, or 1960, the Flintstones began on ABC Network. Can you imagine that? I mean, that show had been on 10 or 15 years before any of us realized what it was. That show had been around. That's amazing. And
Yeah, as a kid, I thought it just came out.
Yeah. And well, we got new ones, but they weren't very good because like the kids were growing up and we're in a rock band. Remember that?
Yeah. Terrible. No, the old ones were the way to go.
Right. Bam, bam, bam.
Kazoo is when it all started falling apart.
I liked Kazoo.
He was all right, but when you watch the older episodes.
Yes, I know. The
Did
older
you take Flintstones vitamins when you were a kid, Steph?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, me too.
I did. Chewed them up. They tasted good.
They did.
We were too poor. I got the generic ones. They were the Jetsons.
I would always ask for a Dino. Please, give me a Dino. Why can't I get a whole jar of Dinos?
No, we were so poor that I got Courageous Cat and Minute Mouse vitamins. It was just powder. Very intoxicating. In 1973, 90 million people watched Billie Jean King beat Bobby Riggs in the Astrodome during the hyped Battle of the Sexes tennis match. Do you remember that? I don't remember watching it, but I remember they made a movie about it a couple years ago.
Yep.
This guy is like, I could defeat any woman, and then he plays Billie Jean King and she beats the shit out of him. Dude, you're like 60 years old. You shouldn't have challenged her. She was in her prime then.
I only watched tennis when Andre Agassi was the big deal because I had the hots for him when I was like 14. That's the only time I ever followed tennis.
His dad made him play tennis, like beat the shit out of him until he became really good at tennis, or he was very domineering. I started watching Wimbledon in the early 80s because I liked John McEnroe. I liked him screaming. I'm like, I like this guy.
I always only knew him from commercials or from TV appearances where they would talk about the fact that he was this hothead.
Yeah. I don't know. One day I just started watching tennis and I got into it, and then I wanted to play and I started playing. And if I weren't, such a lazy ass smoker, I'd probably still play tennis. But tennis is a fun game to play if you're in shape.
I wish my parents would have beat me to make me good at something.
No, you don't. Then you have to carry that with you. Well, yeah, you just carry the beatings with you. They beat you so you'd know what it's like to be beat.
The money, you know what I mean, though? But the success and the money.
Yeah.
You afford the therapy, whatever.
Didn't you marry Brooke Shields?
Tim, smoking ain't cool.
Yeah. Hey.
Whoa.
Hey. Get out of here, Henry Winkler, you creep. Oh, how bad it
McEnroe was married to that chick from Scandal.
Yeah,
Scandal.
Yeah, he's married to Patty Smythe.
I don't know if he still is, but he was.
Yeah. Andre Agassi was married to Steffi Graf.
That's right. He dated Brooke Shields, but he ended up marrying Steffi Graf. All right, in 1977, speaking of Fonzie jumps the shark. That episode aired September 20th, 1977. That's how freaking long ago that show was.
And that's not really when it jumped the shark.
No, it's not.
People say that's when it jumped the shark, but it had 2 or 3 more years before it really jumped the shark. When Richie and everybody left.
Shark. Did you know that?
The beginning of the end, though. That was true.
No, it was not.
Seriously, at least 2 seasons later was the beginning of the end.
I was done with that show when Arnold's burned down and they built the new Arnold's. I never liked it again after that. The whole vibe of the show changed once they moved to New Arnold's.
I was finished with it when they let Sticks eat at the restaurant. I was like, tired of this integration. Now it's happening in Milwaukee. We can put an end to this. No, of course I'm kidding. 1979, Buck Rogers in the 25th Century debuted on NBC. That was a cool show. Aaron Gray in tight satin outfits. No wonder that guy walked around.
Bill Gerard in the perfect parted hair.
Yes.
Had the hots. As hot as a 7-year-old could have. As Cuties. It was like a Cuties type of situation.
I can't believe you don't
twerking in front of the Buck Rogers.
You don't come to Dragon Con to see Gil Gerard. He's there every year.
Yeah.
But it's not the same now. I don't want to see him now. I want him then. I want to take a time machine and see him then.
Yeah, he's old.
When I was 7.
Aaron Gray still looks pretty good. Speaking of Aaron Gray, you can watch Silver Spoons every day on Antenna Network, Antenna TV. I watched an episode the other day.
God, what a fantasy!
What?
The Silver Spoons, man.
Everybody wanted to be
dream.
Yeah, everybody wanted to have a stupid train in your house and
train in your house.
Room.
Cool dad.
Yep.
Very supportive.
Hang out with the guy from Ozark.
Jason Bateman.
Yeah, Jason Bateman was your friend,
and Alfonso Ribeiro.
Alfonso Ribeiro came after Bateman left.
Yeah, Bateman left for just it's your move, and they brought in the tap dance kid.
Yep.
The tap dance kid.
The Breaking Board, all for under $20. All right. In 1984, on this day, The Cosby Show debuted on NBC, and Who's the Boss debuted on ABC the same night. And then in 1999, Law and Order SVU began on NBC. And I just read on Twitter that they've started filming new episodes. And the first episode that Ice-T said they were working on is called Quarantine.
Oh, wow.
Ripped from the headline.
God bless it. The COVID, it has begun.
Oh, there's going to be a lot of that. And then on the 21st of September, that is another day during this week, the first Monday Night Football game was played between the Cleveland Browns and the New York Jets. Cleveland won 31-21. And the 22nd in 1985, Farm Aid aired on TNN. Remember Farm Aid? Alf debuted in 1986 on NBC, and Full House premiered on ABC in 1987. So there's a lot going on in September of these years, because this is when TV shows used to debut exclusively in the fall. In 1994, Friends debuted, and then in 2004, Lost began 6 confusing years on NBC. Although I did like most of those seasons. It got really stupid.
Started out so good, but they had no plan at all for that show.
Nope.
They're just like, throw a bunch of shit at the wall, see what sticks, and have no backstory or plan or anything whatsoever. And then let's just see how we can write ourselves out of it at the end.
Yeah.
And just pissed everybody off.
Kind of like what he did with Star Wars.
Only Vince Gilligan could pull that off, him in his writer's room.
Yeah, Vince Gilligan. You know what's I've seen has been getting mixed reviews. It has nothing apropos to nothing. The new season of Fargo is getting mixed reviews. I'm going to go with the good reviews because it looks really cool. So
it's going to come down to The Rock as Chris being one of the main characters, and he's it's just him as a serious actor. We'll just see.
We don't know that, do we?
We'll just see.
Now's the time we thank all of our Radio Labyrinth producers. Producer is a Radio Labyrinth Patreon member who donates $25 a month or more to our podcast. So, without further ado, thank you, Chad Shepard, who is also a sponsor, who comes in at the $50 mark, and we appreciate it very, very much. Chad has been a member since October 6th, 2017, and we love you for it. Also, thank you to Brian Smith, Eric Malmstrom. Eric has been with us for almost 4 years. John Sutherland, member since 2018. Keith Tate, since October 14th, 2016. Matt Carter, since November 12th, 2016. Mike D, since August 1st, 2018. Sean Hall, since April 22nd, 2018. Todd Ellis, a member since January 19th, 2020. He's the youngest one. And last but not least, Emily Warren, who joined up on May 19th, 2018. Thank you to each and every one of you so very much.
As far as what we watched, I watched Joe Rogan in his new Toaster Oven Studio with Ron White. That was a great interview. If you got a chance to see that, if you didn't get a chance to see it, check it out. And
now that he's in Austin?
Huh?
Since he's moved to Austin? Is that where he's at now?
Yeah, they pretended like they had cigars instead of weed. I don't know, because it's illegal to smoke marijuana in Texas or to even possess. So I guess you'd have to go with the municipal laws. And then this week's Talking Sopranos I watched last night with David Proval, who played Richie Aprile. They were talking about the episode where Janice shoots Richie. It's called Knight in White Satin Armor. The reason every week I love this podcast more and more because they talk about Hollywood and they talk about specifically New York actors that kind of all knew each other and all the movies they've been in together. It's a really cool conversational podcast about The Sopranos, and if you love it, of course, they break down the episodes. But the David Proval is nothing like Richie Aprile. He's a real humble person and a really interesting cat to listen to speak. That's it.
Did they touch on at all the fact that at least 10 people have been killed doing the gun during sex thing because of The Sopranos?
No. Is that true?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. No, they didn't bring that up. They didn't bring that up.
Wow.
No. But he's a cool cat. And you can also get an awful lot of him on Pada Bing, which was that other podcast I was listening to. But I'm so wrapped up in these guys. I reached out and tried to see if one of them would come on the show, but I never heard back. So what are you going to do? What are you going to do? I'd love to speak to Steven Sharippa. So maybe Jeff.
Yeah, I tried to reach out to him too, but his agent said they weren't his agents anymore, and his website said that they were, but I don't know who his new agents are.
Well, maybe did you try Facebook? I tried the direct Gmail address on the website, and I didn't get a response. So,
Right.
although I don't picture Michael Imperioli sitting there reading email all day. I just don't. Whatever. Steph, you want to talk about what you watched?
No, I mean, we already, The Boys and Raised by Wolves, and like the main things that I watched. And I finally finished Umbrella Academy, the season 2. It was pretty good. It ended well. I was into it. And I finished the Teenage Bounty Hunters. Jeff, that was like I was going to quit watching it so many times, and I just couldn't. I just kept watching it. I don't know. It was just one of those shows, okay?
Wasn't it fun to see all the Atlanta stuff in there?
And that was fun, and I really enjoyed Kadeem Hardison and Method Man. I liked their whole little thing back and forth between the two of them. That was pretty good. That was a lot of the humor in it. And the girls, they were fine. It was just, it's very teenagery. But anyway, enjoyed it for the most part. And I watched that movie Alive, #Alive on Netflix. No Train to Busan, but it's another Korean zombie movie or whatever. It was pretty good. I got CBS All Access, so
it's changing to Paramount Plus network soon.
I saw that. So I started getting into Star Trek Discovery. Love it. So good. Hate it that I missed it this long. And Twilight Zone, totally into it. Very cool. And I also watched The Social Dilemma.
What's that on?
That's Netflix.
Jeff hates it. He's very upset about it.
I'm just mad because the continuity errors. The kid's phone broke, and his mom told him she would buy him a new phone if he could leave his phone on the counter for a week without looking at it. He makes it 3 days, and he goes and he grabs his phone, and it's fixed. What the fuck?
It's a reenactment.
The show is bullshit.
Either way, it's basically just shows you the blueprint of how they're brainwashing us. Like you didn't already know, but they lay it all out for you and show you from beginning to end how they are completely controlling us. And podcast I'm so into right now, Where the Bodies Are Buried. It's a new true crime podcast. This dude, Phil Chalmers, he's been doing this shit for years and years. Phil Chalmers. Yeah, he goes and he interviews, school shooters, serial killers, all that kind of stuff. The difference with this true crime podcast is he actually gets these fuckers on the phone. So he talks to serial killers and he gets to ask them all kinds of questions. And I mean, he talked to David Berkowitz, you name it, and they're on he's trying to solve other cases because most of the time they only get prosecuted for 9 bodies, 8 bodies, but really they've killed like 90 people. So he's trying to get them to admit to other ones where he can help these families get some closure. Anyway, it's pretty cool. I think you would like it, but it's called Where the Bodies Are.
Has he spoken to crazy megalomaniac from the Atlanta child murders yet?
No, we're going to be on the 5th episode coming up, but yeah, I think you'd like it. And my staff pick is season 2 of Pen 15, which drops on Hulu Friday, September 18th, which I'm so excited about.
Like out of the blue, I've been waiting to hear when the season 2 is coming.
I thought this was one of the funniest shows of all last year. It's hysterical, very original, and I'm very hard on ladies. Takes a lot for the ladies to make me laugh, and these two chicks are funny as hell.
Yeah, that show is hilarious.
And that's it. I'm done.
Thank you, Jeff.
My stat pick was just Archer coming back on 17th on FXX.
What else did you watch?
Yeah, all the same stuff you guys watched.
Yeah, but you watched, let's see, I Want My MTV. What's that? Oh, you watched that documentary.
Yeah, that was a documentary on A&E about the birth of MTV. It was good.
Yeah? I should check out The Social Dilemma. You guys think I'd like it?
I think you'd have
You'll like the informational stuff, the reenactment part, the drama stuff that they've spliced into it. I don't think you'll like.
It's that part's lame. I'll give you that. It's stupid. I don't even know why they did that. But all the other stuff is very interesting.
Well, guys, if you're listening to the podcast version and not watching it on YouTube, you'll be able to hear all the names of all of our recent producers, current producers, and all of our supporters on Patreon. Also, I think Dustin is going to be working on a way to put those all into the YouTube video. Dustin Lawler, who's really doing a kick-ass job with these videos.
Yeah, he is.
Please, if you see him anywhere, thank him on social media or thank him in the comments on those videos.
When he's not busy rickrolling people in the Radio Shack.
Yeah, that's funny. I like that. He also runs the Radio Shack. Speaking of which, I've been trying to increase our activity on social media. So I'm doing my little drawings. And
Yeah, you've been doing great. That's
Yeah, you're killing it, man.
yeah.
Well, thank you. But also doing that thing of putting, happy birthday, this and that, because these are things that I'm sick and tired of people fighting over the stupidest shit. I want to talk about things that people remember, that people like, and especially our generation and maybe a little bit older and maybe a little bit younger, but things that we like and dig. So if you see something that you'd like us to share, send it to me in an email or on social media if you follow me. And this is real this time. I'm holding right here in my hand. I'm not going to turn it around. I have the completely new layout for what we're going to be doing with Patreon. And there'll be more giveaways and more things to give you. So you're not getting taxed or whatever, all that crazy shit. But one of them will be that everybody is eligible to win prints of the drawings that I've been doing that kind of correspond with the show or things that are going on in the daytime. And we're going to get stickers. Jeff did some really cool art, and we're going to send them off and get stickers, and we're going to send them out and just have fun, because we really appreciate how much. I mean, there are people who've been with us since 2016 on Patreon. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
And and have stuck with us this whole time through changes and this and that, and even through COVID, which has been very difficult because a lot of people don't have the money they had a year ago. So it means an awful lot to us that you stick with us, and we want to keep bringing you interviews, content, ideas, and even more interaction from you guys. So this is your show as much as it is ours. And sometimes I get a little like, oh, nobody, blah, blah, blah. That's stupid. You all contribute in a way. And if you want to have, if you want to submit a staff pick, stuff like that, post it to social media on our Facebook page, or if you're a patron, if you're donating, post it in there, because I check it every day and I'll see your notes. If you guys want to add anything to that, feel free to.
Yeah, post in the Radio Shack.
Yeah.
And please rate us and review us if you haven't already.
Yeah.
If you, especially on like Apple Podcasts and like that, just please give us a 5-star review. That would really help us get noticed.
Yeah.
We'd appreciate it.
Steph, I noticed that you have a new fur baby in your household. Are you fostering a dog?
I am. She, they all have their little quirks.
Mhm.
Okay. And she is a delight. However, she was chained to a tree out in the woods for like 2 years.
Oh.
So
Gonna take her a minute.
she like the Bobby Boucher. She ain't got the social skills.
Oh,
and
sure.
we are trying real hard to get this swamp girl out of her. But she's a cute little American Staffordshire mix. She's 26 pounds and she's full grown. But she's like a little swordfish. Like she'll just fly up in the air and then come back down. But she's getting it. She is getting it. She very much likes being in the house. She likes sleeping in her crate. She's into all that. But, she's just wired for sound. ready to break those chains. But yeah, so barkvilledogrescue.org. We need fosters like crazy. We need donations like I can't even tell you. So anything that you guys can do, we would really appreciate it. Just support us. Tell anybody that you know who's looking for a dog. barkvilledogrescue.org.
Right. Well, thank you for that. And now that I'm you can tell I'm a little gassed. I'm going to go not drink horrible bowel prep and just get a good night's sleep tonight. And we will talk to you next week. And until that time, please remember to keep it.
It.
Happy birthday, Jeff. Happy birthday, Ira.
Oh, yeah, Ira.
Yeah,